Hello, good evening. It's 9 p.m. time for the English news. The major story of this Friday, 5 February 2016 are an evening full of atmosphere and traditional dances in Hajdi, the fourth pro-regime timed around the vice of Aleppo.
Those were the top stories. Thank you for joining us. In the framework of support to the mandate of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, Committee of the District 1, 2, and the collaboration with the CDC Hajdi have organized an evening full of atmosphere and exchange traditional dances of neighborhood 1, 2, 3, and 4 to the platform of sport of this CDC. In the various interventions by the authorities present, an association of the four neighborhoods have high stress and strong support of the President of the Republic for its new mandate, and the community of the district have responded favorably to support our President of the Republic. At the end of the ceremony, the familiarization of the President of the committee, Mr. Kanai and Ibrahim, the authorities present in this ceremony was Mr. Abdul Kamil and Wahib Ahmadou, the President of the Commune of this Boulaous Ayale, the President of the National Council of Civil Society Ismail Suleiman, the located-elect representative of the Commune of Boulaous, the Director of CDC Hajdi Abdul Qadir Ahmed, the responsible for association and trade union number 1, 2, 3, and 4, as well as the president of the two annex 1 and 2, Mr. Saeed Mohammed.
In the framework of the reform of the secondary, technical and professional, Dukripena has hosted training this week on the regulation of the review of trades of the tertiary, ensured by international expert in leader Mr. Thierry Lefebvre, Academy Inspector in Economic Management. This training, which is the third of a series of training on the regulation of review, has already affected the trade, civil engineering and engineering electromechanical in the previous workshop, and today concern the tertiary sector and its variant: transport, logistics, restore, kitchen and trade cell. The training in itself had two strands of action. The first concerned the drafting of the regulation of examination, the different degree of professional and technical, which saw the participation of the disciplinary inspector of the general education, while the second part was intended to the actual training of the repositories of teacher of the various vocational course, as well as the pedagogic counselor refer in this discipline. This training aimed to increase the level of informational and awareness of the different technical issues and practice of the new reform of technical and vocational education, as well as the trade pro. It is to create and mobilize all the skills of the discipline related to the technical and vocational training of the MINFOP. For the participants, this training has been a particular interest. Some and others have appreciated the quality of the intervention of experts, trainer, and the different exchange during the duration of the workshop.
In the framework of the organization, the National Council of Civil Society of Djibouti launches a vast operation of the recensement of Djiboutian organization. In this perspective, of wickets have been opened with the offices of the three communes of Razdika, Boulaous, and Balbala. In fact, the communal authorities and the President of the National Council of the Civil Society of Djibouti, the CNSD, invited the officials of the association to register in this new registry.
In the framework of the first national game of youth, the National Organizing Committee of the game, chaired by the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, Mr. Badoul Hassan Badoul, conduct Wednesday at the Goulet Stadium in the draw of a team that competes for the final phase of the game. These national game of the youth have been initiated by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, The main purpose of this game is to detect young talent in the different disciplines, which will ensure the succession of tomorrow in the term of national sport. The prefect of the region of Tajura, the president of the regional council of Tajura, the president of the regional council of Obok, the prefect of the region of Arta, the president of the regional council of Arta, the assistant warden of Ali Sabeh, the president of the regional council of Dikhil took part at this meeting.
The ceremony of the Drought National Games was chaired by the Secretary of State for Youth, Mr. Badul Hassan Badul. And his address, he has announced that all the logistics for the success of these first national games will be available. The pot of 10 million FD will provide and will be granted to the region who will win the more points. During these games, a Cuban expert will attempt to detect the young talent, these young people whose talents will be remarked and will join the school studies sport. He has asked the participant to demonstrate fairly while taking advantage of the occasion to make knowledge. The first national games of youth will be held from 11 February to 17 February 2016.
Always in sport, in the framework of the preparation for the final phase of the first national game of the youth, which will be held in Djibouti from 11 to 17 February 2016, the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport has organized at the CDC of Section 3 and the CDC of this city stadium training for voluntary. These voluntary will participate in the organization of the first national game of youth. The training that they will be offered throughout the week will be at the level of each CDC of the capital, due to enable them to better identify the objective and issues of this first edition of the National Game of Youth. During the training, the commission for the organization of the game and their mission will be present. They will be able to enroll in the commission of their choice.
And the Secretary General of the Ministry of Muslim Affairs, Culture and Waqf, Mr. Mohammed Hussein Douali, has shared yesterday morning at the Satov Regional Council of All of Ali Sabih a ceremony of a large batch of books on the Holy Quran intended for imams and ulemas of different mosques in the city of Asajuk. The ceremony saw the participation of the Prefect of the region of Ali Sabih, Mr. Muhammad Waberi Asowi, the Regional Director of the Minister of Muslim Affairs and Cultural Waqf, Mr. Aukiye, the Technical Council of the Minister. The objective was to strengthen and improve the promotion of a religion within the community, including mosques. The ulamas and imam of Ali Sabih present have warmly thanked the Department of Muslim Affairs, Culture and Waqf and those responsible for the gesture of the nation of Holy Quran, which respond to the needs of the faithfuls.
And now in Tajura, yesterday evening in Tajura region, the Association for the Development of a Social Value has inaugurated its new court of support, baptized Mr. Mao in the neighborhood of Gabsalna. Upon his arrival, the prefect of Tajuba was welcomed by the president of the association, Mr. Hamad Maloum. The evening was animated by a sketch and traditional dances and intent to sensitize the population of the importance of education. This new court of support was baptized Mr. Mao in tribute as a dean of education, which have been used for more than 40 years in the region of Tajuba. This course of support will promote integration and the social cohesion of children come to the remote communities. Let's bear in mind that the education is the best way to fight against drug and juvenile delinquencies, has declared the president of the association, Mr. Hamad Malou, who has also recalled that education place at the front of the scene is the result of the effort that His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, the President of the Republic, has put in place in its policy of the vision in 2035. At the end of the evening, the Prefect and the delegation visit the local and appreciate the work of its young people. Were present at this opening of the new court the Prefect of the region, Mr. Abdul Malik Mohamed Banoita, the President of the Annex RPP, Mr. Ali Mohamed Agadil, the Deputy Director of the Department of Agriculture, Mr. Abdullah Burhan.
The Department of the Environment, in collaboration with the PERSGA, have organized a day of grid-scale garbage collection and cleaning of waste from the beach of Sagalu village, which is located in 15 kilometers from Tajora, with a strong participation of young people of the village in the presence of Mr. Muhammad Ilmi and Zahir Ali Abdu. Present the Department of the Environment. This regional organization has for principle the conservation of the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. The Prefect of Tajora, Abdul Malik Mohamed Banoita, has welcomed this initiative of the Department of Environment. It has added the garbage and cleaning of the range should be the matter of everyone. The property is the health duties.
Under the auspices of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, the Djiboutian Federation Swimming has organized this free day at the sport over of Tajura, the day one of the regional championship. As usual, the youth of the Tajura are widely mobilized to participate in these events. On the plan of the results, once again a rival in head in their categories, the champion of Tajura were present at this meeting, confirming their form and their domination in this sport. Several performance and physical competition were on the menu of this day for the great pleasure of the young and less young people coming to attend and participate in this meeting.
And now concerning the international scene, a Syrian government offensive on rebel held at once around Apollo has strong to the unbroken peace talk into the chaos. Let's watch this video for more details.
A Syrian government offensive on rebel-held towns around Aleppo has thrown the UN-brokered peace talks into chaos. The Syrian position condemned the massive acceleration of government assaults backed by intense Russian airstrikes. Pro-Assad forces appear determined to break the rebel stronghold around two government-held towns and cut rebel supply routes from Turkey to Aleppo. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said blocking arms supply route is essential if the talks are to succeed. A key component for this ceasefire to work in some time that is now urgent. This is an end to trafficking across the Turkish-Russian borders, trafficking that provided supplies to the fighter. As the diplomat in Geneva watched the fighting intensify, the hopes for any kind of progress appears bleak with the UN Special Envoy Staffan de Mistura in the middle of a confused and failed process.
Through talking at Spain trying to reform a coalition government, Spain socialists are forging ahead with a arduous task of trying to form a coalition government 6 weeks after the general election left the country in a political stalemate. More explanation with this report.
Spain's socialists are forging ahead with the arduous task of trying to form a coalition government 6 weeks after a general election left the country in political stalemate. The second is democratic regeneration and the fight against corruption. The third, constitutional reform. Fourth, the economy and fiscal policy. And fifth, Europe and our positions in the world, our foreign policy. The socialist leader Sanchez is due to meet the anti-austerity Podemos party today. They disagree on a series of fundamental questions, including a possible referendum on independence in Catalonia. Then next week there will be talks with the People's Party or Popular Party of acting Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy. The history of Mr. Rajoy, the corruption and the Popular Party is like the never-ending story said Sanchez. Therefore, I believe that the democratic regeneration that the Spanish people are asking for, with all the respect for the 7 million Spanish citizens who voted for the Popular Party last December, needed the Popular Party to turn into the position. December's conclusive election results has plunged Spain into its most fraught political situation in decades, just as it emerged from a long economic crisis.
The U.S. President Barack Obama has received the NBA on the championship within the White House for the title of 2015 victories. Let's listen for this comment.
Last season's NBA champions, the Golden State Warriors, followed up their win over the Washington Wizards with a visit to the White House on Thursday, with the MVP Stephen Curry and company meeting with President Obama to celebrate their 2015 title. With the entire team setting the backdrop behind him, Obama said, "Folks are saying they are revolutionizing basketball. They are so good. They seem to be just breaking the game itself, and I don't play anymore, but I still know a little bit about basketball, and this really is one of the best teams we have ever seen." Obama later received a Golden State shirt with the number 44 in honor of the 44th President of the United States. But another number that would have been talked about at the White House was 51, the ridiculous numbers of points Curry scored in his size victory against the Wizards the night before.
That was the English news. Thanks for being with us.